Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I started my day so perfect. It's been a nice day. So let me tell y'all what happened. So I have officially started this morning because I did not eat at like midnight. So this morning I've started the 75-day challenge. It's a soft and it's a hard challenge. I did the hard because I'm trying to see if I can do it. Y'all, the challenge is actually like you do like 2 45-minute workouts a day. One of them have to be outside, which is going to be easier for me because my morning workout will be taking my dog walking for like an hour every morning. I could do that. But I was like, I want to see if I can keep it up. You also have to stick to a diet and not cheat, which is why I'm doing my plant-based. So that last meal I uploaded is, well, that was plant-based, but I'm trying to not need to eat that much sodium. So I'm going to be doing my plant-based meals and I'm documenting everything, going to make sure I stick to it, and it's going to be interesting. I was like, let's see if I can do it because I really do want to get in shape. Yeah, and then plant-based, this will give me a reason to stick to it and stop eating dairy. Also, so I can like clear my skin because so much stuff happened when I never stuck to it that long to actually see results with like the plant-based diet. But I want to do a full plant-based diet and see how healthy I feel. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that. But I woke up at 6:30 a.m. I went to take my dog walking, who don't know how to walk, y'all. I swear to God, I try to take him walking, and he get distracted by every sound, every car, every wheel, every dog, every person. Like it's so annoying because I'm trying to keep a fast pace and walk with him. But y'all, sometimes like I started walking with him when he was like smaller, but he always had that problem. He just can't focus when he walks. So I'll just be like, okay, just okay. So I was doing my walk and listening to a Stephanie Sue podcast, trying to get back into her podcast because I got to get back listening to him because I was listening to him every day in college and I kind of fell off and I was like, nope, I need to get back into him. So I'm trying to do that. And then I was like, okay, I came back and I had my breakfast. No, I did finish. I did a 13-minute workout when I came back because we're going to do the 32, the rest of it, which is 32 minutes tonight, because I mean, y'all, my leg was done. It was long. I had to walk. It was done because I had to walk up a hill. So I was like, I'll do the rest tonight, which is why I'm going to start doing the 45-minute workout in the morning. That's the plan. And then before I go to sleep, that's gonna be my night workout. Hopefully it's a balance. All I know is I'm gonna be sore as I don't know what by the end of this week, so we'll just see. And then I'm trying to like get through, you know, doing videos and stuff, so I'm gonna be busy and also still like you know, planning other stuff. So this is gonna be funny, but I'm actually trying to stick to it, and I have to document it by taking pictures of everything, and I'm good with that. So I'm excited to try to get in shape and feel better and feel my best. So guys, we have crime today. Crime never ends. I always say it. It's like people are getting more creative. Now, what we're talking about today is interesting. We're talking about Snapchat. This is a woman who was killed by one of her Snapchat premium members, a person she was going to collect money from for, I guess, sex or sexual pleasures. I don't know. I didn't even know you could do that on Snapchat. I really didn't. Everything is really going downhill. Like, you should not be able to do that. Well, no, actually, as I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure you can't post it. But if they have premium members, you know, people pay for that stuff, she can easily, it makes sense now that I'm talking about it, she can easily say, oh, you know, DM me and I'll meet you here, which is so, no offense, okay, because she's 18. That's what I don't understand, because I feel like they're gonna call her a teenager. She's 18, an adult. But it's so, jeez, don't hate me, ladies, because look, I know you gotta do what you gotta do. There's OnlyFans, you know, there's the Hub, which basically is what this stuff is. It's like, don't degrade yourself, okay? Like, come on, man, we gotta stop that. Not we, because I don't do that, but like, people really gotta stop degrading themselves. It's so degrading to me because it's like you're meeting these strangers for, you know, hookups, and you know, the Hub do that, but at least it was, you know, the Hub is like a whole production. And y'all know what I mean when I say the Hub, okay? That's like a whole production. So you got people nowadays, and OnlyFans have been like, oh God, it's just weird. I think the whole thing is weird, of regular people, just everybody doing that right now. I don't know, I think it's so weird because, you know, these are people, y'all are the ones who was talking down on the people who do the Hub, the professionals who do this for a living, because, you know, that's what they do. They like that, whatever. But then you have people talking them down, and then they go back and then look at them doing the same thing and making much more, which is insane. So people literally getting paid to show stuff. That's crazy. Wow, the world we live in. Yeah, go outside and first touch of grass. But we're gonna see what's happening, because it's sad that she ended up being murdered by this man. Obviously, I feel like maybe he was like obsessed with her. You know, them premium people who pay stuff be the ones that be obsessed, and they be mad that they didn't get content, or that she didn't respond, or that she didn't want to do something. So I'm really curious about how this turned out. So let's get into it.
An 18-year-old is found dead at a home along a road eerily called Hallelujah Trail. And investigators believe her death connects her back to a man she met on Snapchat. We're breaking down the latest on this strange case with a former detective and expert on cell phone evidence. Welcome to Sidebar.
How old is he?
I'm Jesse Weber.
Also, look at my cursor, y'all. It's a honeycomb. Just sorry.
18 years old when her dead body was found on August 1st after a friend called police worried that they couldn't get in touch with Annabelle and directed them towards a man named Jorge Meza Alarcon. El Paso County, Colorado deputies found Annabelle's body inside of the 26-year-old Alarcon's home. She was found dead in his bedroom with blood on her head. And that is when things took a very strange turn, because Alarcon himself apparently called 911 from a few miles down the road to say he had been assaulted. A lot of moving parts here. I want to bring in former lead cold case detective and expert on cell phone.
And we also need to do this. Let's hurry up and say this too. If you're gonna do this kind of content, don't meet up with people. Okay, that's the only whatever. We're gonna see what happened, but I'm trying to hurry up and say something. Don't meet up with these people, at least. Okay, at least be safe about it. And I don't care, but that's why I would think it's, unless he like followed her and like kidnapped her, I would think she met up with him for like some kind of favor to collect money. You know, yeah.
Evidence. Aaron Benzik. Aaron, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yes, happy to be here.
So I want to go through the evidence with you, and here's what we know. Because according to the El Paso County, Colorado deputies, Annabelle's friend said that she had gone to Alarcon's home to, quote, collect money from a Snapchat Premium subscriber. Now, Snapchat Premium is not a program that's officially recognized by the app company, but people use it seemingly to exchange cash for content, sometimes explicit content like nude photos or videos.
So like OnlyFans.
And Alarcon allegedly told deputies that Annabelle agreed to meet up with him where he would pay her money for sex. He says that they communicated through text messages in the Snapchat app, but they hadn't met in person yet. And according to the friend who called police, he was the one who had given Annabelle a ride to Alarcon's house, said that she texted him that Alarcon was giving her a weird vibe. So he checked in with her from time to time, but then hadn't heard from her in about 90 minutes, so he got really worried. Aaron, really...
Real quick, what kind of friend is that? The friend code is just going out the windows these days. They'll drive you to your death. They really will. That's why you got to cut people off and learn when to cut them off early on. Don't meet strangers. He was giving me a weird vibe. Yeah, because it's a stranger. You don't know him. He paid for your services. Look, y'all. Think about meeting those people in person. Now, I'm not saying it like that. It's like the stuff she's doing. New content, premium plus, all that stuff. Think about meeting those people that pay for that in person. You gotta literally think how creepy that is. Yeah, they pay for it, but you keep it a distance for a reason. Why would she go meet this man? And why would her friend go take her? I'm so at a loss for words at the amount of like cluelessness and from all three people. You got the one who drove her, the one who went, and the one who lured her in there. It's sad that she passed, but it's like, don't meet these people. Like, oh my God. That's so creepy. That's so scary.
If you think this, I think it's, on one hand, it's really good that the friend knew to call police to do this kind of check instead of going in himself.
Yeah, because
based
he
on
took
these
her.
allegations, he could have been a victim.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big safety component to this, and it's clear that Annabelle was concerned about things and wasn't comfortable with the environment that she was going into. And, her having her friend check on her, texting constantly back and forth with him, I just don't know that was the safest thing for her to do. She trusted her instincts that something wasn't right here, but how much help did that actually provide? And, I think it was something that helped later on as far as getting justice and finding her soon. If she hadn't been checking in with that friend, it might have been a significant amount of time, days, even months before she was found. Alarcon could have had time to do something to further hide, the crime that he had committed.
And again, obviously, these are allegations at this point, but you're 100% right. If he did this, he could have disposed of the body, or potentially. Do you find it strange, though, and not putting any judgment, I'm sure this is something that investigators asked, that the friend didn't come into the house with her?
Yeah, and, I'm not sure exactly.
And I feel like I'm answering these questions too. Okay, yeah, the least I would have went in too, because it's safer that way rather than letting her go in by herself to this grown man. She's an adult too, but he's 26. That's a 10-year, no wait, don't make me feel slow. Oh, is it like 8 years? Okay. Oh my God, yeah, I need to go back. I just graduated, girl. Oh my God, don't let me. I cannot feel slow on camera. I wouldn't trust it. The stuff that she's doing, you gotta have somebody with you for safety. And then he's a dude, so it's like you're a guy friend, so you really could go in there. I just don't understand. That was not smart sending her in there unless she was planning to do other stuff. What did she pay for? What did he like? What was she going to collect? That's what I'm curious about. Because this whole situation is already like, it's red flags everywhere. And I still can't believe he drove her there, and I can't believe she went. And I can't believe this creepy dude who was paying for her content got to see her in person, and then he killed her. There's so many people like this, y'all. And I never heard of Snapchat Premium.
How much the police are sharing in regards to, was he directly outside the house? Did he drop her off? Was he running some errands nearby? Because what we do know is that Alarcon is found 3 hours later outside of the house in another area. So, if the friend was directly outside the house the entire time, would they have seen Alarcon come outside? So it's a little unclear, where exactly the friend was, but there certainly is that component of, had they come in contact with Alarcon, something tragic happened to Annabelle, they absolutely could have been a victim of that themselves.
Talk to me about these kind of, I guess the best way to describe it, side hustles using apps like this. In your experience, is this becoming more and more common? And clearly, this is not the first case that I've heard of people who meet online, they meet together in person, and then violence ensues. That's what the allegation is here. But talk to me about what we're seeing.
Sure, there's certainly a lot of platforms that are supporting these, side hustles, if you will, and engaging with people online in various ways. But a lot of the safety comes in that it stays strictly cyber. It doesn't encounter this one-on-one direct human contact. And one of the concerns is that it appears that Annabelle is directly meeting somebody in person that she had met online. And she conducts that meeting one-on-one without someone else present, without being in a public environment. And those are certainly some concerns. When you're branching from that cyber platform where you can engage people in kind of an anonymous way to then meeting them directly one-on-one in person, you're significantly increasing your safety risks there.
How tough is it to get those communications? Because I imagine that'll be a big part of this case. Are these social media companies forthcoming?
And let me say this to y'all. I'll try to stop pausing this too much after this. The side hustles. Everybody's doing side hustles now, and that's what's up, because it's like nowadays, look at the world we live in, y'all. Like, you literally have to have like 7 incomes to survive, and I think it's so insane, because my mom was telling me how, I was telling her about this townhouse we lived in Georgia, and I was in elementary school, and she was like, yeah, we pay like $600, like probably $400 a month for that. And I was like, what? Because they were nice, but the house we stayed in, they paid like $800. I think probably $700 or $800 a month. But that was like a 4-bedroom house, 2 bathrooms. So I'm like, stuff is just too expensive now. So it makes sense why you gotta have so many hustles. I'm trying to get many hustles, do different things, because people are literally not hiring also. So you literally have to do what you gotta do. I wouldn't do this. I just wouldn't do this though. But everybody, you see all these women doing OnlyFans now. They're doing like all of these different, just, selling their body. It's just, oh my God. It's crazy that it's like, and it's only because you're seeing more of it, because a lot of women are seeing how much they can make on there. It's like you're doing, you're sending pictures and videos, and you're happy because you're making all this money and you don't have to meet people. But people who show their face and their body, it's like you're being degraded all the time. People are looking at what you do, judging the hell out of you. Look at me, and like judging people. It's like they're judging the hell out of you, and then it's just like, long term is not good because when you have kids, they're going to see that stuff. So really, it's not smart to do it. People just look at the money. It's just sad though, because it's like, dang, what happened? Like, I'm trying to do YouTube. I'm trying to start a blog. Coming soon. I'll tell you guys that later, okay? I'm trying to do other stuff on the side, but like my whole goal is to still work in research. I want to become a paleoanthropologist. That's why I went and got my degree, and I got a bachelor's in anthropology. I have an associate's in health science, technical certificate in pre-med. It's like, I love my degrees. I love my anthropology degree, and it's only because I can't do anything for it right now. I have to go get a grad. I got to go to grad school, get a doctorate. Y'all, I got more stuff to do with this degree. But when I get my graduate degree, I plan to leave the country to do it. They gave you guys a tip of that, and I want to research, and I would love to work in the Natural History Museum in London. That's the dream. Like, become a researcher there. So like, you see me with these goals. I feel like a lot of people just don't have them like that, but college isn't for everybody. Also, let me hurry say the other side. Let me stop sounding so down and rude. College is not for everybody. That is true. It's not for everybody. You can easily have goals without college. It's not that serious. It's just that since I got this degree, that's what I want to do. But yeah, side hustles, everybody doing, but it's like, I wouldn't like do this.
With this information, is it any difficulty in finding the entire conversations or communications between people?
Yeah, law enforcement generally doesn't have problems getting the online communications. In this case, we're talking about Snapchat. Snapchat is very cooperative with law enforcement. They respond to legal process, and they'll provide information if a judge orders them to do so.
Do they have any kind of liability here? And I know that can get tricky, right? Because a lot of times the content platforms, they aren't usually held liable for what happens on their sites. But do you ever see in your experience where it is the responsibility of these social media apps to more carefully monitor what is happening on there?
Well, I wouldn't be able to speak too much to liability concerns as a detective, but I certainly think that it's very hard to control what people do in real life. And I think it speaks to the safety concerns that people need to be responsible for their safety. And I think Annabelle knew that, and she took some good steps for her safety. She just didn't go far enough. Does that mean that that's her fault, that she was a victim of being murdered or something tragic happening to her? Not at all. Nothing that she was doing, no side hustle that she was doing, or no steps that she took means that she should have been hurt or killed in any way. But there certainly are, we got to pay attention to these red flags. And we got to talk about personal safety when you're engaging people one-on-one that you have never met before. Yeah. We've got to go further than just having people check on you. We've got to be with people and in a public place.
You're 100%.
And then look, y'all, this the thing. Safety is key. It's all about safety. Don't meet these people, especially those people. It's different when you see like a subscriber out and about, and you know your content isn't crazy, so there's nothing wrong with saying hi and all that, taking a picture, whatever, you know, hanging out. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to that type of content, OnlyFans content, anything dealing with like nudity, pictures, anything, I think she messed up from the get-go. Because yeah, you could do whatever you want on there, just don't meet them. Why would she go collect money in person from somebody? Like, and I'm still on why the friend drove her. Yes, he should have called 911. It's like, you drove her. I hate to say he drove her to her death, but it sounded like I wonder if she would have went even without him. But at least the one good thing about it, at least she told him, so he knew she was in there. He also should have went in there with her. God, friend code, come on, man. I'm still talking about that because I still can't believe he drove her there and did not go in with her. Wow. And this dude is like crazy. Like, oh my God, what did he do to her?
100% right. There is something alarming about being let off at the house of this guy that you've never met before, and clearly this had tragic consequences. The deputies who do the interview with Alarcon, reportedly he has injuries to his face, and at first he tells the investigators, or allegedly tells the investigators, that he was going to get the money to pay Annabelle when she hit him with something and knocked him out. And then he allegedly claimed he woke up 3 miles away, called 911. Let's first, Aaron, talk about that version of his story, because detectives say he ended up changing his story.
Yeah, what you got is a classic case of a suspect creating distance from a tragic incident. Something bad has
He's
happened,
trying too hard
and
and
the
it ain't
first
working.
story that's coming out is something that we know is not the truth because Alarcon later changes it and provides different details. So his mindset at that point is he's distancing himself from this tragic event that's happened, and that's what he thinks is going to help keep him safe. And then later he's changing that and giving a different story, which just ruins his credibility for any of the versions of the story that he wants to tell.
And later, he reportedly changed his story and said, okay, Annabelle had threatened him. That he allegedly told deputies that after he and Annabelle had sex, she asked for money and then she hit him. And he says that Annabelle had been texting with someone that she called her boyfriend, and he was afraid that someone was outside waiting to attack him. And I'm curious, Aaron, does that version of the story, if he's sticking with that one, is that better than the other version, or do you still see holes in it?
It's just ridiculous. You've got this story. You have an 18-year-old girl that you're reporting is inside your house. You don't have people banging on your door. You don't have people banging on your window. You're simply saying you hear a car idling outside and maybe there's someone even out there. And then he's reporting that Annabelle hits him with her cell phone. I'm sorry. You've got a guy who's saying he's now using jujitsu moves on an 18-year-old girl armed with a cell phone. Don't buy it. Completely ridiculous.
Oh, we'll get to that move in a second, but does it help his narrative? Does it help his defense that it wasn't he who admitted that Annabelle was coming there to collect money? It was seemingly Annabelle's friend. So the idea that she's coming to his house to collect money, does that help his story at all? That he was now at the center of this, that maybe he was the victim in all this, or not really?
Well, from an investigator's point of view, the things you're thinking about are what are the facts. And it appears right now that the version of facts in regards to Annabelle arriving to perform sexual acts in return for money are simply coming from one source. That would be Alarcon himself. The friend is saying that she's going there to collect money.
Yeah.
What exactly she was doing, what her intentions are, we don't know. Factually, there could be a possibility that she was there to collect money. Maybe this person had agreed to pay her for something, agreed to pay her for just images online, and he wasn't holding up his end of the bargain, and she wanted to talk to him about it. I don't know. We just have that self-report.
And I don't know why. That's what I was kind of thinking too. I was like, I feel like people would think it's for hooking up and stuff, but I for some reason was thinking, oh, maybe he was paying for content. I don't know. I feel like the most logical thing would say is that she's paying for services, because it's like, who would go realistically? Who would meet in person for pictures? That don't even make sense. Who would meet in person to sign an autograph? That don't make sense to me. I feel like the most logical thing is unfortunately, it sounds like escort work, but we don't know. That's what he says. That's what the suspect says. I don't know. I feel like he probably, you know what? Let's tell the theory, okay? She fought back, obviously. Let me get y'all my theory already, okay? He got marks on his face. She went out with a fight. I feel like what happened is that he tried to R-word her, and she fought back and he killed her. Right there, because his story, he's changing stories. He can't stick to it. And with the marks and stuff, and the friend, they didn't say that she was going there. She said collecting money. I'm still curious about what, but yeah.
Ordered by Alarcon at this point.
And let's talk about that deadly act, because according to the affidavit, Alarcon told deputies that he, quote, instantly went to a leg lock, but transitioned to a Darce chokehold, which he demonstrated on the floor of the interview room. And a Darce chokehold, my understanding, is often seen in mixed martial arts, and it's where all of a person's weight is on their opponent's neck and their head is being pulled. It's really, really a brutal move. And the arrest affidavit reportedly said that Jorge was asked if he knew Annabelle was dead when he left the room, and he stated, without checking her pulse, and he said he knows how to do locks because he likes to train, and he knows when the chokehold is used, you only have 2 to 3 taps in you. So Aaron,
what he did is strangled her. That's what that just sounds like, that he's trying to justify reasons why, they didn't say it, but reasons why she probably have marks on her neck or stuff, or, putting people, maybe she had marks on her legs. He's trying to come up with a reason of why, a story of why he did it, trying to make himself believe it and trying to make people believe it. Because there's no way you're doing that on that girl. That girl was tiny. She's younger, like she's younger, she's tinier than you. There's no way. This strong man, there's no way. He literally most likely strangled her to death, or and like sexually assaulted her. And I feel like he's just coming up with a story to try to say that's the reason why she got those marks. That don't even make sense to her. Like, that really didn't even make sense. Yeah, he's really trying like everything with these stories, and he's making himself look so guilty, which he is.
You've got this story of Alarcon saying that he's training. He goes to practice these moves, and then he's now starting with one move, transitioning to another move. It's just classic embellishment. He's trying to fabricate a story of how he had to navigate through all of these moves, and that's what he had to do to survive because of this impending doom that was coming. But reality is different. Reality is that he's in a room with an 18-year-old girl armed with nothing but her cell phone and maybe an idling car outside. Alarcon had options. Had he been truly scared and fearful, he could have taken her phone and called 911. He could have used his own phone. He didn't have to use all these grandiose jujitsu moves to incapacitate an 18-year-old girl with no imminent threat outside. There's just no one banging on doors or windows. This is a grown man and an 18-year-old girl, and it's not okay.
But here's the thing. Alarcon reportedly has a very concerning criminal history that I want to talk about. According to KKTV News, back in December, he was charged in a separate case with strangulation assault. Then in March of this year, a judge granted a woman's restraining order against him. And according to KOAA News, Jorge is accused of strangling a dog to death in February and throwing its body into a dumpster behind an apartment complex. He faces charges of animal cruelty and criminal mischief in connection with that. Aaron, how does that...
I knew it was strangulation. Okay, guilty. Like, what? You're a dog killer. Sorry, like, gone, burn 'em. You have another case of strangulation. Somebody has a restraining order on you. That I knew it was strangulation, because I'm like, when he was in my chokehold, I'm like, nah, she tried to leave. He tried to strangle her and kill her. He strangled her and killed her, and probably didn't want to hook up with him. And that's the case. That's what it is. I hear it like perfectly, like perfect goggles. I see it exactly what happened. That's crazy. Dang. And then y'all, I put on my post on my channel, my community board, that what we're talking about this week is like some crazy cases, because people really do they do the most trying to hide a crime. It's like people getting so creative. The fact that he's trying to justify using jujitsu, didn't even use it, dude. You're just trying to act like you did. I'm actually wondering, what if he did the moves after she was passed to make it seem like that, because he know people was gonna research it. We know with that forensics, if that is, that's crazy. But wow, just a really dumb dude. Like, go to jail. He shouldn't even have a bond. Nobody who kills should have a bond.
That criminal history play into this case, play into this investigation?
Well, you just outlined the absolute stark reason why law enforcement is being so aggressive in reports of family violence and strangulation incidents. A lot of times you start as something early on and progress to things that lead to murder and the death of an individual. They don't always leave physical marks behind. They don't always leave patterns that law enforcement can easily act on. And so law enforcement is adjusting the way we do investigations and ask questions to identify patterns of strangulation, because you've just walked through a reported pattern that Alarcon started with injuring an animal. Okay. He's then progressed to a family violence situation with a known dating acquaintance with this report. And now you have the allegation of him strangling an 18-year-old girl stranger that he's just met for the first time. These patterns, they link together. These series of incidents all connect. And it's an escalating pattern of violence that law enforcement and the culture of investigating family violence and assaults on women are absolutely paying attention. And this case highlights how important that is.
Long story short, do not meet up with strangers that subscribe to your content, like that type of content. It's not safe, y'all. It was like, I keep talking about this because I don't know why the friend took her. Maybe she would have went anyway, but like, I could not have that on my conscience. I'm like, okay, I'm not letting you go in alone. You gotta at least look, if y'all do this thing, because it do happen, if you do it, at least take a weapon with you. Okay, you gotta have something to protect. You can't just go into a stranger home that know you do this type of stuff, knowing you finna meet up like in person, knowing you about to collect money. They're like, I would immediately think it's not going to go right. You have to have something. You have to have some kind of weapon with you. You just cannot be that gullible and that like defenseless in a situation like this, because you don't know what they're capable of. And meeting people like that, you also have to have that in your head that they're capable of literally anything. There are dudes that pay for services like this and become so obsessed that it becomes like a stalker situation, and they find out all your information and they find out like your family stuff and they like stalk you and they end up killing you. I've seen cases like that too. So it's like, it's all about safety. Safety, safety, safety. Do not go to these people's home. He strangled her. Like I still think he said he hooked up with her, which means he most likely R-worded her. It's sad because she's so young. Y'all ladies, young girls, just don't do it. Need to get off these sites. Like I said, I did not know there was a Snapchat Premium. I didn't even know you could do that stuff on there. But it's just crazy. I feel like they do this stuff knowing, like, everybody don't have this, but I feel like they do this stuff knowing they can make more money on some of the apps. They know they make more money doing this, and it's just so sick. It's like, oh my God. I'm sorry. That stuff is so creepy to me. These are like creeps out here, and look what happened. They just be waiting for the opportunity. Wow, I think he was kind of psychotic as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Stay safe out there, y'all. Do not upload news. Just don't do it. That stuff will always come back and haunt you. And plus, if it's not that, it's the people themselves. They're obsessed. They're creepy. They're like simps. It's just scary. Ugh. And if you're going to meet somebody in person, I don't advise it. Don't do it. But if you do it, take somebody with you. Let them go in the house with you. Have a weapon at all times. Put it in your pocket, put it in your shoe, your sock, put it somewhere. Have a little mini, pocket knife, have something, pepper spray at least, or a taser. Always take a taser with you at that. Like, just so quick, because the way he was saying how he was using judo, which was a lie, he strangled her. He had marks all on his face, so she was fighting back. That pepper spray and taser could have easily got her out of that. Like, she would have been able to run away. So it's all about safety. This case is an eye-opener, as always, for all of them. Just be careful, y'all. Be careful who you interact with. Don't go to their house, okay? Especially somebody that pay for content like that. Do not. I don't care how much money they pay for your services. That's their fault. They shouldn't be paying for it. You don't owe them nothing. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at IamTatianaGreen, and I will see you beautiful people on the next video. Stay safe and stay aware. Bye.